that is empty as our representatives in that industry. Think about that. So ultimately, there will be 6 Negroes that will be on the team that they will parade out to us, and we will champion them because we want a peace, and we will never see them again. Yeah. Meanwhile, our brothers who know how to grow, package, distribute, and they get into business, are literally, we watched black legislators write them out of the program. Exactly. We watched them say, if you've been incarcerated, or if you've been in jail, so you telling me that the guy that moved bazillions of pounds, should not, now that it's legal, he's excluded because he showed you how to get there? Right. And he's still locked up. And here's my challenge. My challenge is, when they come talk to us, it's all super sexy, and they like, oh, criminal justice reform. Kiss my butt. Because you signed the legislation that said we can't participate. You said if you had a misdemeanor, you can't get no medical marijuana. You can't even distribute. You can't sell the baggies. So now, again, as the economic opportunities come, because guess what we're going to be crying about? We will be crying about, we didn't get any child care. They cut my child care subsidy. In the meantime, they're going to build a whole nother wealthy, rich community that when it's legal for everybody, them same fools gonna come open up a store on your block, in your neighborhood, in your town, or in your block, and you're not gonna be able to participate.
And you go shop there.
Right, and then you're gonna go shop there. Because I'm shop there. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm sorry. I'll start preaching.
I got a question. Oh wait.
Wait.
Hold on. I do them like this. I got one question.
Go ahead first. All right. So, in terms of specific things that we as a community could pick, my thought is tip. I heard maybe on radio this morning. Is it true that the city is going to sweep tip surplus to plug a budget hole? And how can we make a big ask by saying we want tip that's going to the north side to come back here and define how we want it done?
How do you hold your local elected officials?
We do not do that.
So let me tell you, how many of y'all got a selfie with your elected official?
Nope.
Okay, well this is a different crowd. But let me just say, so the challenge becomes that they don't fear you more than they fear downtown.
Exactly.
And so once they fear you, then that will start to move. I think this right here, you start organizing. Like when somebody comes, remember, if I knock on your door, hey, I'm here to get your vote. Where you at on the 10th downtown? See, how many times have you heard just vote? Anybody ever heard somebody say, just vote? Raise your hand. Just vote. There is now a new Democratic campaign that says just vote. What are you voting on? What issue are you voting on? So this is what they know. If you go into the polling place, 9 times out of 10, if they could just get you to the polling place, you are going to hit the D. And so when you hit the D and your neighborhood is jacked, it says, we like it. It feels good.
Give me some more.
Give me some more. And so guess what they do?
Give you some more.
Give you some more. Some more nothing. Right? Now, I'm telling you, but can I also tell you something? And this is one of the things that I think we don't understand as a people. Some of what happens with our elected officials is really not their fault. Hear me out. In so many cases, they don't know. Right? I spoke at the City Club the other day, about 3 weeks ago, and we talked about how cheap the aldermen go. Right? Everything is a negotiation. But our aldermen don't even know what to ask for. They're so grateful when the rich white boy walk in the room that they willing to even talk to them, that they'll take the community center, right? So, people rag me for this, but I'm going to tell you, I just saw it happen again yesterday. We don't know, our elected officials don't know how to bargain. They don't even know the chips that's on the table, right? So when a guy comes and tells you, I'm about to build a tower, 3 towers, that eventually are going to make me $1 billion, and they say, I'm going to give you a $250,000 community center, and you happy? Sucker. Black lollipops. But it's not even the black lollipops. It is that they don't know. So I'll tell you a secret. When I worked, one of the best and worst things that ever happened to me is I worked with the Latinos. I worked with the boss from HDO, right? And before he was the boss of HDO, he was the head of intergovernmental affairs for the city of Chicago, right? And as the head of intergovernmental affairs for the city of Chicago, the aldermen used to get appointed. Like if somebody went away, they would get appointed. Do you know what he told me they look for in black aldermen that they appointed? That they be the dumbest, least educated, and I'm not saying that to disparage them. It is, they literally had a strategy. The less education you had, the higher they would push you. When they saw Barack, they was like, get out of here. Right? Up and out. Rahm Emanuel, up and out, the policy, and they bring in, you don't see smart black elected officials initially, right? Springfield, same thing. They was used to, and what we thought was by just going and screaming and hollering, I'm going to cuss you out. They give you $10, they'll give you a little $100,000 something. You felt like you was doing something. They'd be like, ooh, this legislator cuss you out. And they thought they came back with their $100,000. Well, now, y'all, we have to recognize that we go too cheap. I'm not against the Obama Library, but when I see that they done raised $250 million, hey, Joe, you got to do better. You got to come hard. You got to do something way, way, way better. And we got to stop going cheap. Now, I got to do something real quick because my niece just walked in here, so I got to say what's up to the Rego Babo. Thank you for coming on Saturday afternoon. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, 2 more questions, and we let your answers be short.
I can't. Preach! Okay, so I'm going with you, Dr. Adams, and then I'm going to get you, James. Go ahead.
I don't have a question. I want to sort of direct us to the agenda of the day, which is to talk about what we want. We generally spend our time talking about what we don't want, or we spend our time talking about what's wrong. We do not see ourselves as being able to craft our own agenda and really achieve it. So we come from that deficit position that Wade Mays is talking about. We ain't got no, and fill in the blank. When really, we're full of assets. And so we talk about what are those 5 things that we want to hold the candidates to who are asking for our votes before 2:30. I don't want us to look at to have come here all this time and not do that. Let's really just line them up. Okay? So I would say number 1, because I'm engaged in this Obama Presidential Center and all those other things. And that is that we have to come up with an agenda that allows the people who currently live in this community to be able to stay in it. So some things that have to do with the taxes for our seniors in their homes, because I don't object to property values increasing. I objected when mine decreased 300% a few years ago. So I'd like to see it come back up. But I don't want to see it come back to the deficit and to the demise of people who live in the community. So we need some standards on those issues for one of those things, I would say, and we should line up the rest of our asks.
James?
As a person that wants to participate in the marijuana who are the legislators that we need to know?
You need to know all your legislators because they all vote on it. They all vote on it. They all do. Everybody has a say in it. Let's go to the next
And
question.
you have to make sure that you look at what the people you voted for vote for.
Go ahead.
Because
Finish
after
your
you
question.
vote for them, they go crazy down there.
Finish your
And
question.
are they the ones that make the rules to keep up these minority
Yes,
rules?
they write all the rules. Usually the lobbyists write the rules, the companies write the rules. The lobbyists then deliver the rules to the elected officials. The elected officials are not reading 50,000 pages, so they say, give me the Cliff Notes version of it. Yeah, I'm with it. And what they do is they sneak all these little things in there. They say, no, you can't come home if you did this. No, if you ever got stopped by a police officer, and then you said yes because we got legal marijuana, except for like the 13th Amendment, you are all good unless you fit all these categories. We got to move to the next question. We'll come to you in a minute. Go ahead.
Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Now, last week you talked about how do we empower Julianne Stratton.
Okay.
Explain what you mean by that.
So, very quickly. Black people give up their political power. Every crisis should be used or maximized. Right? So, right now, you got J.B. Pritzker on the ropes. You ain't talked to him. He's been Rose Garden strategy and y'all all day. Right? Everybody is. So then you got another incident that comes out.
Yes.
Right? Right at that point, you have leverage if you don't undercut yourself. At that point, now he's in the last 2 weeks of his campaign, 3 weeks. You gotta be out here. We want this, we want that. At that point, though, instead of Juliana jumping to the side of the white folks to undercut the black people, she could have empowered herself in the campaign, and we could have empowered her by Juliana saying, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and I'm going to hold JB and everybody beneath that accountable. And JB, so, because here's what's going to happen. The Attorney General, we all love the fact that we got this black lieutenant governor, right? And they trot her out every time there's something black. She get extra, she get extra black for us. No, but at the end of this election, she'll be relegated to an office smaller than this with a budget of $2 million. And all of your political capital is invested in the distraction. Right? Because she really has no, but right now, she could have been powerless. I can't speak on that. But what I'm saying is, right now, we have to she should have been empowered at that point, and she should have gone into the campaign and said, did this happen? And play the game. We don't even play the game. When the white folks say, we in trouble, our job should not be, we gonna save your boss. No, even if they on your team, because you know that racism exists. So what happens is we have to stop undercutting black people regardless of where they're at politically. If it's a black Republican, it's not your job to go out and be like they a sellout there, because guess what? That's what makes the white boy not feel like he has to come talk to you. So, at that point, when that situation happened, Juliana, if she's our candidate, she needed to extract. She needed to say, I want to see this in the campaign. And if you don't do it, I'm not trotting my ass out there.
Now, stand up for your people.
There. And then you got somebody else on your team. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Jesus.
Preach.
We have one question because I'm going to take 3 questions in one after this because we have to go.
I'm sorry. This is a green monster. You have somebody blocked in the parking lot. Green monster.
I didn't know you could use it though. It says in the parking lot. I know, right?
Okay, ask really quick.
Okay, really quickly. Agenda items. And I know you're talking about this. Equitable gentrification or revitalization. And to me, that also means profit sharing. And when I say profit sharing, what happened in Inglewood, where all of those people lost their homes and ended up with maybe $35,000, and that's not enough to buy another home, they should have had profit sharing through the railroad. Not only that, Well, I'm gonna get to the question in a second.
Because I gotta get to work.
Okay, the other thing is when I say profit sharing, they needed to have that, but they also needed replacement costs for their homes. As black people, our wealth is in our homes. How do we go after replacement costs when we're being displaced in communities? Nobody can go anywhere and get another home for what they're giving you. We need sliver equity when they decide they're going to build something on our land that we no longer own. And then the other thing I think is really important, we need to know every committee our aldermen are on. Because I went to the Obama meeting and spoke and did not know my alderman was vice chair of the real estate committee. Okay, so we need to know that. The other thing is their programs. How do we get programs that exist on the north and northwest side that give subsidies to home value for those residents through the city that we don't have over here? How do we get that?
It's really advocacy.
But she got the answer for.
You have to come up with your agenda, right? And those to me are agenda items that as you all circle and start to talk, that needs to be as part of it. And then once you identify what your agenda is, you take that to everybody. Nobody comes to no neighborhood network, unless they answer these questions. And I'm going to tell you, stop making the plan to leave.
Yes.
I'm not yelling at you, but like I'm saying, people are saying, how do we get our equity? Your equity is going to come when you stay. Okay.
Somebody had a question. Who has had a
This is
question?
going to be 3 questions in one that you have to ask. And please, we do not need a thesis. We just need a question. Okay. So, what are some of the options? I can't